Jane the Virgin, right? So we have, this is the fifth and final, right?
I have 10 episodes left.
That's it.
I'm directing the one right now.
What's the feelings right now?
I have like sweaty palms. I feel really, really blessed to be able to have had this journey. I didn't take for granted a second of my time on set. So it's nice to close a chapter that you feel that you really didn't take for granted. So I don't have any regrets. I don't have any, why didn't I spend more time, or I should have done this. And no, every moment I spend on set, I'm like, thank you, God, for putting me here.
And the show has represented us so well for so many years, and it's like, finally we have this. So
yeah, and we want more.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So with our production company, we're going to make more. That's it. So instead of complaining, we put into context. We make our own projects.
Are you getting teary-eyed?
A little bit. Well, it excites me. And it's like, I think that we're living in a really great time right now, where Latinos, Latinas, Latinx can come together and really show our beautiful, positive power.
Yeah.
We can support each other as the community has supported Jane the Virgin. And then we have an opportunity to support Miss Bala and, all the other movies that are coming out with Latino leads. Mm-hmm. Because then we have more opportunity for our community. Mm-hmm. So the support that has happened for Jane has made it possible for me and other people to pitch shows like One Day at a Time, where we have more Latinx reflections on screen. So I really hope that this is an opportunity for us, because we're very aware that should this film do well, studios will say, Latinos do make money.
Yes,
let's make more movies with them. Yes. Because right now our community is considered risk averse, because we go to the movies every weekend. We buy 1 in every 4 tickets. We hold up every studio film. We contribute positively to this culture. So it'd be beautiful to see that reflection and then create other opportunities so that we're not the only two sitting here.
Yes,
and you get them every week.
Constant.
And they're constantly here of all different shades and sizes and cultures and dialects and backgrounds, because Latinos we are just such a plethora.
Look at the three of us. We look so different, so I think that's beautifully said. I love that. Yeah. Ismael, I was doing some research.
Let's go.
And, let's go, right? Let's go. It's funny because your header, your bio on Instagram says, if it's true, you heard, what is it? You had.
It's what you heard is true, but my version is better.
What you heard is true, but my version is better. So what does that mean? Like, what rumors are out there?
I don't know.
What is it?
I don't remember when I wrote that.
He's like, man, I gotta change it.
But no, not at all. I knew, I always just know, people are like, I heard this about that happened. It comes from me the way that I tell my stories.
Yeah.
Maybe something happened at the grocery store, but the way that I tell you, and then I went in through the doors, and then there was this thing, and then there was anything that is quotidian, del cotidiano, yo lo convierto como en una super historia.
I heard that you were on Sesame Street.
Sí.
So.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
What? You didn't know this?
I was Sesame Street.
I mean, from Sesame Street to being the leader of the underground, dark world.
I'm like starstruck.
I have a range.
Yes. You did not know this.
I'm starstruck right now.
Yeah. All right, so you gotta tell us about the Sesame days.
I was in Sesame Street. A few years ago, and I used to play this character called Mando, and he was.
Did you have a job on
Mando,
the store?
I created that character, and I proposed this character, and they accepted it because I wanted him to be, again, a reflection of what's happening right now and for the kids, because Sesame Street was so important to me. And I'd never seen it really as a kid's show. It was like such a radical show, and it's been a radical show in a very sneaky way in what it proposes, and I wanted him to be very modern. He liked to write, he liked to draw, he liked to do all these things and express himself creatively with something that is not presented as a viable thing for Latinx. We have to do engineer, doctor, lawyer, which is great, but also we can be artists. And we are great artists, right. So I wanted him to reflect that, but he also liked his tech. Something that I also wanted to talk about is, like, if you have a phone, you can make a movie. If you have if your phone has a mic, you can make a podcast. So to empower also the new generation to do what we're doing, we have got to be the authors of our own story because no one else will. Yeah. So through that, and also I had these.
I love this so much. No, I can't believe you didn't know this.
I'm also living for everything you said.
Right? I know, absolutely. Me too. And it's obviously something that impacts many kids. Yeah. Just as Carmen Sandiego Carmen Sandiego, impacts so many kids.
Listen, yesterday I was doing a press for Carmen Sandiego, and I do a game show, interactive game show with these kids. And I swear, children just give me so much life, and they're screaming, and they're all holding up their little flags of like where they're from, and it's like Brazil and Panama and Sweden, and there's a little girl that comes up to me, and she says, so I saw you at the Golden Globes, and why was it only one Latino that won that night? And why was there only one Latino that presented? And I said, oh, you noticed that? Wow. And she said, yeah. So how do we change that?
Wow.
And I was like, you're going to change that, girl.
Yes, good.
Yeah, and I was just like, shaking, but just to see how reflections are so important and how young these kids become aware of seeing their own reflection. And that being said, behind me is like these big, flats with Carmen's picture. She's got brown skin. And I'm just like looking at this animation like, yep.
Yep, we're doing it.
Yep.
That's it. We're doing it. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the Golden Globes. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Well, I did not do that, but
we mentioned you on Latinx Now.
Oh,
we were
thank
like,
you.
oh man, she looks beautiful. We loved it. We loved just the fact that you were representing us there and the whole thing. You were, you got a shout out during the beginning, which is like amazing because hey, exposure, but it's so nerve-wracking because hey, this is in front of everyone. What are they going to say?
Pretty much, yeah. As Sandra O was talking, I was like, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? But we knew it was going to be sweet because they had already done the sweet, insult to everybody.
That's true. You were like, okay, at least it's kind.
At least it's kind.
I love that.
But it was very sweet. It was definitely unexpected.
And there was pictures of you and Ricky Martin on the red carpet, right?
I love Ricky and all the initiatives he's doing for Puerto Rico.
Okay, so we don't all have a chance to hang out with Ricky Martin on the red carpet. So what do you chat about when you're with Ricky on a red carpet?
Well, you know what? In those moments, it's kind of like this. This is always what happens because in those moments, everybody's so excited and everybody's like sweating and they're all like nervous and you can like smell it. It's like palpable because everybody's just like, oh my God, this is insane. This is crazy. It's almost like you're looking around and you're constantly looking at like a TV or a screen because there's so many ridiculous artists that are there. But Ricky, I just absolutely love Ricky. I've loved him for so long.
We all do.
Oh God, he's so incredible. But the first thing I said was thank you for what you're doing for Puerto Rico because when what he was recently doing, him and Lin-Manuel and Jennifer Lopez and the small little contributions that we can do and our foundation, but really what Ricky had done was just incredible because he had affected so many so many towns that my cousins were in, and they particularly had reached out to me and was like, you have no idea what he's doing, and I was like, oh, I do, and it's incredible. So I just was like, thank you so much for what you're doing. How's your heart? He's like, my heart is full. I was like, great.
Oh, that's a good conversation. How's your heart? I like that.
Yeah, it's always because that's what matters, right?
It's very nice. Yes, of course. Now, and on the back of your dress, you had "Time's Up" × 2, correct?
Yeah.
And I love that because a lot of people might have seen and said, hey, you know what? This Time's Up movement is a fad, is a trend. Is here for just a year. We're never going to see it. Award season next year, or et cetera, et cetera. And I absolutely love the fact that, women like you are saying, you know what, this is here to stay.
Yeah, because it's important, it's necessary. It's more than a moment. It is a movement because it is the continuous conversation and push towards change to create a safe environment for women everywhere in all industries, not just the entertainment industry. And I think that what the ladies of Time's Up and all the actresses, what they did last year in the Golden Globes was profound, but it doesn't just live in the award show. That's a space where we were blessed to have a platform to say okay, we know here we can reach as many women as possible and let them know that because we have this platform, we are speaking for all of us.
Yeah.
Not for the actors here. We know we are very privileged. We know we are very, very blessed.
Yeah.
So we use that to create blessings for others. We use that to help create safer space. So by the Time's Up ×2 is to just double the number.
Yeah.
So and I'm gonna ruin these facts. But you can go out and
look them up, research. Yes.
But it is. But I believe it's something like if 30% of a company has more than 30% of women in higher positions of power, then the company does substantially better.
Wow,
so it's kind of helps everyone.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone wants to do better, so even if you want to be selfish, that'll just still make it better.
Yes, of course, of
So
course.
hiring
I
women
love that.
actually.
So we all have homework. We're gonna go and
then
all
just
look
to
that up
double
for sure.
the number, you
Yeah.
know. So like for me, it is in the next 18 months. I'm going to make sure that I continue to work with female directors, with directors that happen to be female. I am going to make sure that there's gender parity on my production companies, so that 50% of the production heads are female, which is something I've never experienced as a director or as an actress on set.
You know what's a study that actually I just looked up? There was a new revelation investigation that just happened, and it basically is about our Latinx music, right? And it basically says that our Latinx music has now surpassed country music and EDM to be one of the top 5 genres in the U.S. in album sales. So what do you feel about that? Bravo, right?
There's something so beautiful about music, though, that like that crossover, music like touches people's soul. Like for some reason, it bypasses discrimination, because you're just like, you can't help but move when Luis Fonsi sings, or Mark Anthony sings. You know what I'm saying? Or
Bad Bunny.
like
Bad Bunny is
we have to.
or Amara La Negra, you know, like
Bad Bunny.
you know, like or Cardi B. Like you just can't deny.
Right.
And the reach that it has, like, I mean,
It's
we
profound.
travel the world,
For
and
sure.
everywhere you go, there's a Latinx song, you know, playing, and it really just has taken over the world. And again, it's so widespread, but at the same time, if we don't follow up with that and take it and continue to make our things, everything becomes a fad. It's seen as a fad, you know. So we really have to seize the moment, as this moment that we're having, for example, being 2 Latino leads, and just continue to make noise, continue to support. It's up to everyone that watches the show to push it in their own platforms, and just make this not just a fad, but just a fact of life.